Hey, clinical researchers. Hey, Guru Nation. I'm back with a stock video. We're going to be covering this particular stock tomorrow on the Clinical Research Circle channel with a group of our Ashley, Chris, Monica, and hopefully Dr. Al Jazairli on Ardelyx, ADRX. And what is Ardelyx? Well, it's something that is coming out with a PDUFA, a potential FDA approval. A lot of people are thinking it's guaranteed FDA approval July 29th. July 29th. And this is interesting because, I mean, we'll get into why it's interesting. I want you to see the market cap. Again, we love small market cap. This is a $763 million market cap. This has gone from a high around, let's see, the max. This was in December of 2014, $32. Then it's been basically between 2 to 7, where it's at now. Uh, Played around with 8 a little bit last year. So it's been relatively boring the last 2 years or so. They did have a PDUFA delay, and we're going to get into the article we wrote on Latinos in clinical research. And like I said, we're going to do a lot more on this stock tomorrow on the channel, the Clinical Research Circle. So make sure you subscribe there. This is just an appetizer, an overview for you. Ardelyx makes presentations, move stock, and upcoming PDUFA. Kidneys and cash. As long as insiders follow disclosure rules, it's not a problem for company leaders, such as directors of the board, to buy and sell stock in the company. At Ardelyx, a biopharmaceutical company focused on developing innovative, first in class medicines to improve treatment for people with kidney and cardiorenal diseases, the biggest insider purchase over the last year was by independent chairman David Mott for $1 million of US dollars worth of shares at about 589 a share. The purchase was made at well below the current price of 740. The average price per share was 633. Ardelyx insiders own about $13 million worth of shares. That equates to 1.7% of the company. During the last quarter, there was substantial insider selling of Ardelyx shares. Meanwhile, Ardelyx has done 2 recent presentations highlighting new tenapanor data at the European Renal Association, European Dialysis and Transplant Association ERA-EDTA Virtual Congress 2021. Interim data from the company's ongoing Optimize study shows that tenapanor can play a central role across the hyperphosphatemia treatment paradigm in adult patients with chronic kidney disease on dialysis, enabling greater achievement of phosphorus targets in binder-treated patients with phosphorus above 5.5 and control of serum phosphorus in binder-naive patients. In another presentation, the company reported that patients who were on tenapanor had a smaller percentage of deaths and hospitalizations than those on the phosphate binder sevelamer in the long-term phase 3 Freedom study. Hyperphosphatemia is a serious condition resulting in abnormally elevated level of phosphorus in the blood that is estimated to affect the vast majority of the 550,000 patients in the US with CKD on dialysis. The kidney is the organ responsible for regulating phosphorus levels, but when kidney function is significantly impaired, phosphorus is not adequately eliminated from the body. As a result, hyperphosphatemia is a nearly universal condition among people with CKD on dialysis, with internationally recognized KDIGO treatment guidelines that recommend lowering elevated phosphate levels towards the normal range. As David Rosenbaum, PhD, Chief Development Officer, explained, our optimized study was designed to evaluate multiple methods for integrating the novel blocking mechanism of tenapanor in hyperphosphatemia treatment paradigm with the goal of increasing the proportion of patients able to achieve target phosphorus levels. We're extremely pleased with the interim results demonstrating that tenapanor use resulted in approximately 50% of previously uncontrolled patients achieving target phosphorus levels when either switched to tenapanor monotherapy or with the addition of tenapanor with a concurrent reduction in binder dose. The interim results are also demonstrated that two-thirds of binder naive patients who started on tenapanor monotherapy were able to achieve and or maintain target phosphorus levels. According to Dr. Stephen Fishbane, Chief of Nephrology, Northwell Health, and Professor of Medicine, Zucker School of Medicine, I am excited by these results that demonstrate both binder treated and binder naive patients may be better able to achieve target phosphorus levels by applying blocking mechanism approach as an integral component of hyperphosphatemia management, reflecting the important role of tenapanor across a broad range of patients and treatment regimen scenarios. So here's the interim analysis. 232 patients had been randomized in the optimized study cohort 1, which is straight switch to tenapanor from binder, or cohort 2, start tenapanor and reduce binder dose by 50%, and then 27 binder naive individuals had been enrolled in cohort 3 and started on tenapanor. Among participants that had completed 8 weeks of treatment, 47.7% in cohort 1, 47.8% in cohort 2 achieved, and 66.7% in cohort 3 achieved and are maintained recommended serum phosphorus levels at week 8. Furthermore, subgroup analysis on randomized participants in cohort 1 and cohort 2 demonstrated that 53.3% of participants with a baseline greater than 5.5 and less than or equal to 6.5, 51.7 participants with a baseline greater than 6.5 and less than or equal to 7.5, and 38.7% of participants with a baseline greater than 7.5 achieved and less than or equal to 5.5 at week 8. Diarrhea, the most common adverse event, was reported with an incidence rate of about 29.3 in cohort 1, 36.2 in cohort 2, and 14.8 in cohort 3. 5 participants, none from cohort 3, experienced diarrhea that led to study drug discontinuation. Optimize is randomized open label study, which will include approximately 330 patients with chronic kidney disease. So Optimize okay, 330 patients with chronic kidney disease on dialysis with hyperphosphatemia. The study is designed to evaluate different methods of initiating tenapanor therapy across hyperphosphatemia treatment paradigm to optimize phosphorus management in both binder naive and binder treated patients. The objective is to evaluate the ability of tenapanor with its novel blocking mechanism administered as a core therapy for the treatment of hyperphosphatemia in adult patients with CKD on dialysis, alone or in combination with phosphate binders. The 52-week Freedom study of a 26-week open label randomized treatment with a 12-week placebo controlled randomized withdrawal period, followed by a 14-week open label safety extension period. Maintenance dialysis patients with serum phosphorus were randomized 3-to-1 to receive tenapanor 30 milligram twice daily or sevelamer carbonate dose per packet insert. Sevelamer was used as a safety control for comparisons of serious adverse events hospitalizations. Comparing patients who only received tenapanor versus those who received sevelamer, the data demonstrated a lower overall incidence of death, 3.1 versus 3.6, as well as serious adverse events leading to hospitalizations, 22.5 versus 35.8, and a shorter mean duration of hospitalization, 11.5 days versus 13.5 days, in patient treated with tenapanor, respectively. The primary efficacy endpoint of the study was the difference in change in serum phosphorus between the pooled tenapanor treated patients and placebo treated patients in the efficacy analysis from the end of the 26-week treatment period. Ardelyx is advancing tenapanor, a novel product candidate to control serum phosphorus in adult patients with CKD on dialysis, for which the company's NDA is currently under review by the FDA with a PDUFA date of July 29th, 2021. For those watching in the future, is July 14th, 2021. Do your own due diligence, not financial advice. Ardelyx is also advancing RDX 013, a potassium secretagogue for the potential treatment of elevated serum potassium or hyperkalemia, a problem among certain patients with kidney and/or heart disease, and has an early stage program in metabolic acidosis. a serious electrolyte disorder in patients with CKD. See, this is the first time I'm really learning about this company. I like companies like this that focus like really narrow. I think there are companies that succeed that have a wider range. It all depends on the business model. This company seems to be very narrowly focused on chronic kidney disease. Um, with the upcoming PDUFA and then also RDX 013 uh, for the treatment of elevated potassium in kidney and or heart disease, and then the metabolic acidosis. In addition, Ardelyx received FDA approval of Ibsrela, which is also tenapanor. So tenapanor is already approved as of September 2019 for constipation predominant irritable bowel syndrome. Ardelyx has established agreements with Kyowa Kirin in Japan, Fosun Pharma in China, and Knight Therapeutics in Canada for the development and commercialization of tenapanor in their respective territories. So I mean, look, not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. We're going to talk a little bit more about this on the Clinical Research Circle. We're going to go through some of the company's presentations, some of the investor slides, the website. We're going to have Ashley Margot, hopefully, who's going to be on to do a little bit technical analysis on the chart and a binary events happening, guys. So let me know what you think about this, and not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. This is just to open your eyes. We're also going to dive deep on the company's leadership tomorrow on the Clinical Research Circle, and we're also going to get into some tips for job seekers. Maybe this is the kind of company you want to apply to, by the way. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. ADRX, let me know what you think. Take care and catch you next time. ARDX.